So first, let's quickly go to the main headings of the newspaper. I'll tell you the context also, which news is important for what context. Then we will discuss today's topic. Okay. Now, if you see on the front page, Modi Bakaram talks stress economic security. Fine. So this topic is very important from the GS paper too. Fine. And in interview also, they usually ask question on international relations, economic aspect. So economy and international relations are two important aspects from the interview point of view. If you have a political science as an optional, fine, then again you can use this information effectively in PSIR also, political science and international relations option subject. You can expect 15 marks to 20 marks question on India-France relation, right? And India-France relation is one of the highlight in past 25 years. If you see India as a growing economy, okay? And other questions also can be framed from India-France relation. For example, one concept is strategic autonomy. One concept. Another concept is natural ally. Fine. In fact, this question was asked by the UPSC. Natural ally. Okay. So usually Russia is considered as India's natural ally, but over the period of time, there is a debate whether France is also India's natural ally or not. This topic I am going to discuss in today's special focus. I will focus on this news specifically. But overall, this news is very important. You must cover line by line, point by point. Each and everything you have to cover. Nothing is here which cannot be understood and written by a beginner. Okay? So you should read it thoroughly. What it is in this news. Fine. Iran questions US push for truce after Israel hit Beirut. So there is a conflict going between whom? Iran, Israel and US. Main issue is Iran have nuclear enrichment program which US, especially Israel, consider as a existential threat. If Iran is going to develop a nuclear weapon, then Israel consider it as an existential threat. Means Israel believe that maybe Iran is going to use that nuclear weapon against the Israel and then Israel will be whipped out. It's a small country. So Israel want no country in the region have nuclear weapon. And that is why since their existence, they keep doing this thing through covert operation and direct war. Fine? Especially covert operation. Through the covert operation multiple times in multiple countries, they have tried to dismantle any kind of the infrastructure which allow the country to develop a nuclear weapon. Fine? Whether it is Syria, Iran or Iraq. Anywhere they feel that these countries are capable of generating nuclear weapon, they will do that. In this context, one scientific concept you should do it today and study it properly. Fine? Centrifuges. Fine? So there is a topic you can write for the assignment. You can write as an assignment what is enrichment process means in context of. This is the assignment for you to understand the concept what is enrichment process means in context of uranium.
Sir, can you repeat the question again?
My question is, what is enrichment process in context of uranium? In the context of uranium. Fine? What is centrifuges? What is centrifuges? And how they are used for enrichment of uranium. What is centrifuges and how they are used for uranium enrichment. One more. To what extent to what extent uranium should be enriched to make it as a weapon grade uranium. To make it as a weapon grade uranium. Okay, fine. So here, just understand. Centrifuges, if you will be able to develop a centrifuge, fine. Naturally, uranium is not going to be automatically become a nuclear weapon. It's not like that you have put uranium in that and you have thrown and it is going to blast. You have to enrich the uranium minimum 70%. So when uranium is going to enrich up to 70%, it can be weapon grade uranium. Means now you can use it for what purpose? To make a nuclear weapon. Fine. And here the centrifuge is a key. So once a country is going to develop a centrifuge, they can develop the enriched uranium. Enrichment of the uranium takes time. Maybe sometimes it will take 3-4 years. Fine. So if a country, for example, Israel attacked on whom? Iran, and it destroyed uranium. But if Iran have developed a method how to create centrifuges, so even if you destroy their nuclear facility, so suppose a part of Iran have a nuclear facility. In that facility, they have centrifuges and they are enriching the uranium. And Israel came to know that in this part of the Iran, they are having nuclear plant where you have centrifuges and enriched uranium. They dropped the bomb and they destroyed the facility. Still, Iran can do that. Why? Because Iran have developed the technology to create what? Centrifuges. So once country will develop a technology to create centrifuges, you can only delay, not deny that country to develop a nuclear weapon. What you can? Delay. You can destroy the facility, country have to rebuild it. So maybe if Iran is planning to have a nuclear weapon by 2028 and you have destroyed their facility, it doesn't mean that now Iran cannot develop a nuclear weapon. Only you have delayed it. Now the facility which is destroyed, Iran will recreate it and then again will start developing a nuclear weapon maybe by 2035. Fine. So this is the main concern for whom? Israel. And Israel believes that rather than talk, let's go for preemptive strike. USA is also supporting whom? Israel. And USA want you should stop enriching the uranium or whatever the uranium you already have, hand over to us. Iran is saying that we have a capacity, but we are going to do this only for the peaceful purpose, civilian use purpose. But with this logic, US and Western countries are not agreed. They said that you do not need a nuclear power plant. You already have huge sources of gas and oil. So if country like India is going to develop a nuclear power plant, it is understood. Why? Because India is an energy deficient country and India need energy, and for that purpose you can use nuclear energy. But a country like Iran, who is already extraordinarily rich in hydrocarbons, why you want to develop a nuclear technology? So this is the suspicion. And the problem is, once Iran is going to develop a nuclear weapon, other countries, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Syria, Qatar, UAE, everyone will fear if they have nuclear weapon, we also have to develop a nuclear weapon, otherwise they will threaten. So if Iran is going to have a nuclear weapon, then Saudi Arabia will also demand, because Saudi Arabia say that tomorrow if Iran is going to threaten me, because they are going to say that we will drop a nuclear weapon on you, so I should also have a nuclear weapon. So here one theory is used which is called as MAD theory. M-A-D, MAD theory. MAD means mutual assured destruction. So this MAD theory is basically a deterrence theory. What is deterrence? So suppose I and you are in conflict. Fine. I and you are in the conflict and conflict got escalated. and I decided to bring my gun. Fine, and I am charging towards you. Fine, and you also bring your gun. Fine, and you also charging towards me. Now I and you are calculating. If I will fire on you and you will fire on me, both will die. Then what is the purpose to have a conflict? So both decided. Both are charging towards each other, and at some point of time, both decided to go back. So he deter his attack, he deter his attack. So suppose two countries are having a nuclear weapon, and nuclear weapons are those weapons which can complete destruction. Which can go for what? Complete destruction. So imagine a situation. Iran have a nuclear weapon, and Iran is threatening Saudi Arabia. I will drop a nuclear weapon and I will completely annihilate Saudi Arabia. If Saudi Arabia also have a nuclear weapon, so Saudi Arabia is also going to say the same. If you will drop, I will also drop. So you will be also completely destroyed. Now both countries know that if I will attack on Saudi Arabia will also attack on me with a nuclear weapon. Then both countries will destroy it. So it is better to stay away from each other. Fine. Why? Because if we will attack, both will destroy. Mutual assured destruction. So mutually assured destruction is going to happen if two countries are having nuclear weapon. So once a country will develop a nuclear weapon, then the other country who have a conflict with this country will also try to develop a nuclear weapon. Why? Because he know that I will become weak. Why I will become weak? He have a nuclear weapon, I do not have. But once I will also have a nuclear weapon, then which theory will come? Mutual assured destruction. Then no one will attack on each other. So here, nuclear weapon is going to work as a deterrence weapon. Deterrence means I am deterring you. I am preventing you to attack on me. So once Saudi Arabia have a nuclear weapon and Iran have a nuclear weapon. Fine. Iran have a nuclear weapon. Both weapons, both countries are developing deterrence against each other. One more country is always in the news. North Korea. Have you heard about the North Korea? Fine. North Korea, fine. And North Korean head of the state, Golu. Fine. Kim Jong-un. Fine. So Kim Jong-un, they have made a law. Fine. What law they have made recently? North Korea have made a law. If in any case, Kim Jong-un is going to die or he is going to be assassinated, like Ayatollah Ali Khamenei of Iran being assassinated. By whom? Israel. Israel killed him. So North Korea have made a law. If our beloved leader, who? Kim Jong-un, is going to be assassinated, then North Korea automatically fire a nuclear weapon on designated country. Fine. So if you are going to fire and kill their leader, North Korea is going to fire the nuclear weapon automatically on that country. No need to go for authorization. So suppose tomorrow if Israel is going to kill Kim Jong-un, fine, North Korea will automatically fire nuclear weapon on whom? Israel. Or if North Korea came to that, this is done by Japan, North Korea or US, any country in the world, if they found that they have tried or they have killed their leader, then automatically they will fire. Now tell me, will you attack on North Korea? North Korea is a poor country. Fine. So if you are going to kill Kim Jong-un, then North Korea will fire a nuclear weapon. You will also fire a nuclear weapon on them. They will be destroyed. They are poor country. You are developing economy, and it is going to be greater problem for whom? Greater problem for whom? Developed country or developing country than whom? North Korea. So this is why, do you think anyone is going to target North Korea and North Korean leader? No. That is why Kim Jong-un is like this. Moro, whatever you want to throw on me, throw. The moment I am going to die, I will ensure you are also going to be finished. So for North Korea, this nuclear weapon works as a deterrence. This is why many countries who have a conflict with US, Europe especially, they want to have a nuclear weapon. Why? Because they know that once we will have a nuclear weapon, whether it is US or any other country, they will hesitate twice to attack on us. Fine. So this is how nuclear weapon is actually a weapon which is not for the use in the war. Nuclear weapon is a strategic weapon. What is a strategic weapon? So I am not going to use it in the war. But by having this nuclear weapon, I can bargain, I can talk, I can prevent many. So this is why nuclear weapon is a strategic weapon. A weapon of deterrence, a weapon of negotiation. Fine. Rather than a weapon of war. Till then date, only one country have used. And technically speaking, only one country have the capacity to actually use. That is US. Why? Because USA have this capacity. What capacity? Even if they are going to drop a nuclear weapon on someone, other countries are not able to do too much against them. Why? Because US is the most powerful economy in the world. Any problem in the US economy will generate problem in the entire world economy. US is most powerful military in the world. US is the most powerful technological country in the world. Example, I have told you about mythos. Fine? Mythos. Developed by whom? Anthropic. And mythos, they have released in the name of Fable. Fable 5 they have released for the public. But US government said that you cannot give this fable or mythos to any person or any country except who? US and US nationals. So only US and US nationals can use mythos and fable. No one else can use. Fine. So even if you are paying for it, you will not able to use. So technology, military, economy, that makes US as a super power. So only US have this capability to even drop, but still US is not going to drop because nuclear weapon is going to not do the immediate destruction. Nuclear weapon will cause radiation. And that radiation is going to kill people not in the present only, but in the future also. So this is why nuclear weapons are not usually a weapon of war. They are weapon of countering the enemy's strategy. That is why we call nuclear weapon as a strategic weapon. Understood? So this is all the conflict between whom? US, Iran and Israel. So keep an eye what is going on. Have a close eye on the conflict. Fine. Indian sailing vessel sinks off the Oman after engine failure. Crew rescued. So see, this event itself is not a kind of a topic on which question can be framed. But if you have observed in past 1 to 2 weeks, many of the Indians got killed in that region. Which reason? Hormones reason. Fine. So if you see on the map, this region, fine. This entire region is creating a problem because of the ongoing conflict. So because of the ongoing conflict, so this region Fine, ongoing conflict. So US and Iran are targeting certain commercial vessels, and in recent time, in past week, US have targeted multiple vessels, and in those vessels, many Indian crews are there, and they died. Fine. So in today's Hindu, one more article is there. Is India having a capability to secure their personnel who are in that region? Personnel means armed forces people. The armed forces people are not there. But do India have a capacity to save their civilians in this conflict? Do India have this capacity? On that, they have mentioned one detailed article in today's Hindu must-read article. So maybe the this immediate issue which is mentioned in today's newspaper, that is not very important, but overall it is having a significance. So you have to follow this news. Fine, follow this news, what happened actually. So this news must be gone for. Fine. Here, if you go to the next page, majority of the news, they are local in the nature. Fine. So again, you can ignore such news which is purely party politics, something like that, you can ignore. Fine. So all these news, if you'll see, they are only local in the nature, you can avoid. Now, activist seeks accountability from center at 𝐃𝐨𝐰𝐧𝐥𝐨𝐚𝐝, Cockroach Janta Party. Any member here? Cockroach Janta Party member? Anyone? No. Okay. So Cockroach Janta Party came into existence after a remark made by whom? Chief Justice of India. He was making a remark against those people who are unnecessarily wasting the time of the court by filing anyhow PIL, public interest litigation, and also filing certain right to information appeal. So that was quite frustrating, and CJI, Chief Justice of India, remarked, there are certain youth in the system who act as a cockroach, unwanted creature in the kitchen, which is creating too much hygiene issue. Fine. And that have triggered many. And how? And this party is being created by a person, Cockroach Janta Party, the common people. They are saying that. Chief Justice of India later clarified, he said that my remark was not in general. My remark was only for specific people, not in general youth. Fine. But that issue got escalated, and now Cockroach Janta Party is in the action. And recently, when the paper was leaked, NEET exam question paper was leaked, and this Cockroach Janta Party have made this as an issue. Fine. And they are demanding what? They are demanding the resignation of whom? They are demanding the resignation of. Do you know this location where they are doing this protest? Huh? Indira Park yesterday. Fine. So yesterday, while coming to the office, fine. These people are having such kind of their event was going on. Fine. So I stopped my bike and just listen what they are saying. But anyways, in democracy, everyone have a right. Everyone have a right to speak, but no one have a right to defame anyone. Right? In democracy, people have a right to speak freely, but people do not have a right to defame anyone. So this is one of the debate in any democratic society. To what extent the freedom of speech is there, which is not going to be defamatory in the nature. So if I am criticizing you or you are criticizing me, so what extent that criticism is only criticism rather than getting defamatory statement. Fine. Example. You can criticize the judgment given by the court. Anyone can criticize the judgment given by the court, but you cannot criticize a judge. You can criticize judgment, but you cannot criticize a judge. Fine. Because now you are getting personal to the individual. What judgment they are giving, that judgment is always open for criticism by any Indian, but no one have a right to criticize the person. Fine. So this is a debate we will discuss in detail when we will deal with the fundamental right and especially right to speech. Fine. Article 19 we will deal in the detail. Okay. Now let's move to the next news. Fine. 3 children and man drowned as a boat capsized in Krishna River. Fine. So safety. Fine. Safety issues. So though maybe certain local news in the nature, but all these local news where accident happened, crash happened, all these are indicating how India is having a loose approach, fine, towards the safety. So safety in India is always a secondary or tertiary options. Fine. For example, people will purchase bike worth 1 lakh rupees, 2 lakh rupees, 3 lakh rupees, and the helmet just to avoid challan. Helmet to avoid challan. Fine. If he is going to cut your challan, fine, no one can save. Fine. So helmet is for protection. And do you know that majority of the helmet are designed only for one impact? Means if you drop a helmet from this height, this helmet is no longer considered as a safe for driving. You should change your helmet. Fine. But in India, helmet protections are considered as a normal thing. Certain helmets are being ISI marked helmet. Fine. So there is one helmet called as LS2 helmet. Fine. Which is made up of carbon fiber. Lightweight and very good one. I'm telling about what personally I have faced. So I have 2 helmets. One is ISI marked and one is LS2 helmet. Fine. And I have paid hefty amount for this LS2 helmet. Fine. 5 digit, not 4 digit. 5 digit amount I have paid for that LS2 helmet. And do you know that what happened? Traffic police person have stopped me in Delhi. And he said that this helmet is not valid and you have to pay the challan. I said it is the most secured helmet. He said it doesn't matter, it is not having ISI mark. So you have to pay the challan. So despite having a helmet, I was being challaned. Fine. And the challan was hefty amount. Fine. In Delhi, they are very strict in certain areas. Fine. So they stop, they just find out that this helmet do not look like an ISI marked helmet. I was having a helmet. He just inquiring because I was in the high security area where usually they stop anyone to check. So he was asking me from where you are because bike is having Telangana number. Fine. I was in Delhi and they are asking you, who are you, where are you, why are you here? So I started speaking in Hindi. They got more suspicious. Telangana bike, Hindi speaking person, high security area, what's going on? Fine. So then I told ki, bhai, I belong here, I teach there, but I came here just for the ride. Just for the ride. Fine. Then they start moving from here and there and they observe the helmet and then they ask you, what is this? This is not right helmet. I said, it's very right helmet. It's very costly helmet. तो उसने लिया मेरे से. तो ऐसे करके देख रहा है. मैंने कहा, sir, easy. If it is going to drop, it is going to be a problem for me. So easy. कह रहा, no. This is not ISI marked helmet and you have to pay the challan. I said, okay. So see the safety norms in India. Still, ISI marked helmet, which is costing somewhere around 1,000 rupees, 1,200 rupees, is considered as a safe. Whereas the helmet, which may cost 34,000 rupees, is not considered as a safe in India. Fine. This is true. I can show you the challan, which I have paid. मैंने frame करके रखा हुआ है. I have put as a memory. Fine. Because this is the sorrow state of safety norms in India. Fine. So, ISI mark means safe. Fine. Similarly, boat ride. 2 months back, a big tragedy happened at where? Baghi Dam. At where? Madhya Pradesh. Many people died. No proper safety. One woman died by holding her kid in her hand. Tightly holding her kid in her hand. So, but people forget. No committee have established. No safety norm change is being employed. No random checking is happening. Despite that, tragedy, and people are enjoying the boat ride again in that particular area. So this is what the sorrow state of safety norms in India: industrial safety, road safety. Fine. All these safety is an important topic in the UPSC. Fine. So you have to be more careful when you are dealing with what topic? Any accident. So try to find out what safety provisions we do have in our system. What safety provisions are there for the road safety? What safety provisions are especially and very especially industrial safety? Every 10 to 15 days, very unfortunate thing, but it is happening. After every 10 to 15 days, you will find somewhere some industrial disaster happen. Few days back, Vizag steel plant. Before that, again one plant in Andhra Pradesh. Fine. So multiple. Before that, Tamil Nadu cracker fire. So since we started having the class, we have seen 3-4 incidents with respect to what? Industrial safety. So industrial safety is a big issue. Fine. So liquid assignment, write one assignment. Laws related to industrial safety in India. And what are their key features? Laws related to industrial safety in India. Industrial safety in India and major flaws or shortcomings. Major flaws or shortcomings in those laws, and way forward. Fine. So if you will work on this, it is one-time work and it is going to help you in GS paper 1. Sometimes question can be related to the Indian society and it can also be related to GS paper 2 governance. Though they can push into what? They can push into GS paper 3 in the economy. Fine. Economy. Though it is not likely, but in GS paper 2 governance, most likely, in GS paper 2 less likely, but is an important topic and it is an evergreen topic. Anytime, anywhere, UPSC can bring question on this. So prepare notes on this thoroughly and properly. If any assistance is required, let me know. Fine. Or I will do one thing. But I will not do that thing, otherwise it will not work. What I was thinking, all the points which I am asking you to do the assignment, I will provide. But if I will provide, you will not work. So condition is, first you have to show me you have did that work. Fine. Then I will also provide you, then you can go for comparison between your work and my work. So I will do one thing. For today, whatever the topic I am asking you to prepare assignment, I will also prepare and I'll share with you so that you can get an idea in what way we have to prepare the notes. Tagging, important points, structuring. So you will get an idea. Then next onwards you can do on your own. Fine. So at the end of the class, someone please give me what topic I have dictated today. Okay? Who will provide? Handwriting should be recognizable. I want some volunteer in the class who can give me all the points which I have mentioned. After the class, just give me those points. So I will give you the notes by today. Okay? Now, let's move to the next topic.
Sir,
Yes?
sir, I have a question.
Okay.
So, all these questions which you're giving as assignment, so are these for learning purpose or should we write answers to
No,
it in
no,
terms of answer writing?
only learning purpose. Answer writing not required on this topic. For answer writing, I will give the question separately.
Okay, thank you.
Now, see, world needs inclusive, human-centric technology. Highly likely topic for this year's mains examination. Highly likely topic for this year's mains examination. And I have some gut feeling they will make a question on it. Fine? Because see, PM's statement, World needs inclusive, human-centric technology. Inclusive means access should be available to everyone. Access should not be exclusively available to only few. And do you know that this comment is very close to what US have did day before yesterday. US have denied the access of the technology which they have developed to whom? Anyone else than US. And this is not first time. This is a common practice in those countries who are having the advanced technology. They prevent other countries, whether it is artificial intelligence or if it is a medicine or in the health sector or technological sector, they always do this thing. So this is why this word is special relevance, inclusive. Then human-centric. Human-centric means, it means you should allow the technology for better development, social development. So suppose you have developed a vaccine, fine, against corona. So when the vaccine was developed against corona, then what happened actually? Vaccine was developed by AstraZeneca, fine, a Oxford initiative. So it was purely Western countries initiative. But vaccine was manufactured at where? India. Why? Because in Western world they do not have a manufacturing capacity. But just imagine if Western countries are going to have this capacity to mass produce at such large scale, minimum 1 billion people are going to die. आपको अंदाजा भी नहीं है. You do not have any idea what was going to happen if country like India was not going to manufacture vaccine on mass level. European countries and US are going to provide as a privileged access. Only those who accept our policies, only those who accept our views, they are going to get those vaccine on priority basis. It was India have provided mass level vaccination in Africa, in South America, in many parts of the world. And that has completely changed the complexion of India's perception in those countries. You may have not observed, but whenever our Prime Minister go to any country these days, they never forget to thank India to provide it for the providing vaccine on timely when the country was facing severe corona-related crisis. Fine. So in this context, Prime Minister want to say that a clean energy source. Fine. A energy source, like suppose you have developed a technology through which you can generate the energy in the more cleaner manner. So that technology should not be exclusively available to some countries. It should be given to other countries also. Artificial intelligence, access should be given to all countries. So this is what human-centric approach. Fine. So it's an important topic. Please read that topic in detail. And here I'll suggest you strongly make notes in points, 5 to 7 points on this news. Which news? World needs inclusive human-centric technology PM. Security forces will retaliate if fired at warns who? Manipur DGP. I told you about the Manipur issue. It is a recurring matter. So keep an eye what is happening in the Manipur. Ultimately, some question can be framed. So it's a recurring news. You should follow on that. Fine. CSF trained 7,100 personnel to counter drone operations post-operation Sindhur. So it's a security-related issue. Fine, security-related issue. GS paper 3, security. Though many people call it as an internal security, but you have to see the broader security perspective. Fine. So from security point of view, how India is trying to strengthen is its security. You can take this as an example. So one-liner only. One-liner only. No need to go for detailed. Fine. Now recently government have restricted the diesel access. In that context, that news is being there. Fine. So on this topic, just read. No need to make any notes. Fine. Here. In news which need to follow, Army unveils new uniform policy, phase out colonial era practice. So colonial era practice, many of the part of the uniform of the armed forces, they are depicting the colonial culture. In fact, the first time India was having a uniform of khaki, fine, in 1846 or 1848, sorry, 1848. So in the 1848, British officer, he dictated now the armed forces in India, they are going to have a camouflage dress basically based on color of dust. Fine. So dust in Hindi it is called dhool. Fine. So from that the word khaki emerged, and since then Indian armed forces are having this camouflage khaki. Fine. Over the period of time, certain things is being changed. But recently, when Prime Minister was attending a conference of armed forces people in Gujarat, he requested, like, we are trying to overcome from any colonial image. We are trying to do that. For example, earlier it was Criminal Procedure Code. Government has changed the name Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Bharatiya Dand Sanhita. Fine. So certain things need to be changed in order to avoid having colonial mindset. We have our own system, we have our own heritage, which we have to carry forward rather than having an image of whom? Europe's. Fine. So this is what Prime Minister has urged. And now Army came with the detailed change in the uniform policy. More indigenization of the Army uniforms. Fine. Read it and give a thought. Read it and give a thought on it. To what extent indigenization should be there so that it should not cross a line? Because India is a multicultural society. Fine. So, to what extent we will go for indigenization so that it should not reflect a domination of only one religion and culture. Because India is a multicultural society, multilinguistic society, multi-religious society. So might be possible if you will go for too much over indigenization, or you are going to focus only one religion or only one cultural aspect, then might be other groups are going to feel disconnected. So the indigenization is good. It should be happen. But it should happen on such basis. It should not create discrimination in the society. Fine. People feel inclusive rather than exclusive in the indigenization process. For example, when the name was given Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita and Bharatiya Dand Sanhita, many of the states, especially Tamil Nadu, have objected. Tamil Nadu's point was it is either Hindi or Sanskrit word. But many states in India, including Tamil Nadu, they are having Dravidian culture. So it is something being imposed on us. In the past, we have a practice to have Hindi name as well as English name too. But this time, the Hindi name is written in the English. Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. BNS. Fine. So this is what Tamil Nadu have raised an issue. See, again, raising an issue is not a kind of an anti-national activity. Fine. We can discuss. Fine. We can debate. But we cannot go for targeting individual, as I said that. So, indigenization to what extent? Give a thought to it. No need to write, but give your thought. Shall we have indigenization in such a way which is going to reflect only one part of the country, or it should be inclusive in the nature? It should be inclusive in the nature. Fine. So for that aspect, you can go for it. Now, structure, rigging in Trinamool. Again, all these news you can swap and move forward. Fine. One corruption issue is being highlighted by Ram Temple Panel Chief welcomes the move to form a SIT amid donation issue. Fine. So temple management in India. Fine. Or better to call the religious place management in India. So religious place management in India many times it comes in the conflict. Like, for example, Waqf board. Fine. Similarly, there was some board. So all these things, misappropriation of the donation. So misappropriation of the donation and temple management or any religious place management is also one of the issues which is frequently highlighted in the newspapers. So this topic is not just this topic. Consider this topic from the wider perspective of what? Religious place management. Okay? So this news should be considered as a part of religious place management. Read it and follow it. Fine? Both news are on this. Now again the political news. Here 4 jumps of the train in the MP over rumors of fire. Again accident. Fine? CBSE have asked, CBSE must disclose the tender process for answer sheet. Who said that? CIC, Central Information Commission. Fine. So given, write an assignment. What is Central Information Commission? What is Central Information Commission? How and when it came into existence? How and when it came into the existence? Its role, power and function. Its role, power and function. You are going to get this name in the newspaper very frequently. Fine? CIC. Fine? So that is why if you will have your own notes, it will be better for you to consolidate your understanding with respect to any upcoming article. Fine? Now, Odisha village to get crocodile alert system under smart village plan. So here, what is important? Smart village plan. What is smart village plan? Though this news is related to which area? Odisha. But the smart village concept can be implemented at national level in order to make village more aware. So maybe in that villages of Odisha, crocodile is an issue. But in many parts of the India where we often see the human-animal conflict. Fine. And it is very frequent in those areas where we have a national parks. Fine. We have a national parks and here we find many times human-animal conflict. So this model cannot be just used at where? Odisha, but it can also be used at where? At any part of the country. So it can be worked as a case study. Fine. So you can read it as a case study to focus on human-animal conflict. A human-animal conflict topic will be mapped at which topic? Geography, history, polity, economy, security, ethics, environment. Where will we map it? Where we have to map it this topic? Where we have to map this topic? In history, polity, economy, geography. It should be mapped in the area of environment. Fine? Environment. So environment, why environment? Because when the human-animal conflict increase, when the human and animal conflict is going to increase, who is going to be more vulnerable? Human or animal? If human-animal conflict will increase, see, all of you are sitting here not to put your mouth with the tape. You are here in the class and class must be participatory. Fine. Here you are not sitting just for what purpose? To listen the podcast. Podcast नहीं चल रहा है यहाँ पर. Class चल रहा है. And in the class, everyone's participation is required. If you are not going to voluntarily participate, then I will force you to participate by asking precisely to a person. Fine. And still you are not participatory, then get out from my class. I do not want such students in my class. I do not want those people in my class. I want those people who are actively sitting in the class. Mind, body and soul. Everything should be perfectly aligned when the class is being there. So my question to you is, when the human-animal conflict increases, who is more likely to die? Animals. Why? Because animals do not have the capacity what humans do have. So there is more likelihood of death of an animal. Maybe that animal is going to provide or inflict a harm on the humans, one or two, three instances. Then humans are going to organize and they will hunt that animals and they will kill them in order to secure their safety and security. So this is why it is very important to prevent the human-animal conflict, and it is going to protect animals. Fine, though vis-a-vis, it is also going to protect humans also. But it is in the large interest of whom? Animals. And animals, jungle can be associated with which topic? Environment. So where you will tag it? In the environment. Now you are getting how to tag particular news to which section. Are you getting this point? So this news is important from which perspective? Environment. Understood? Now, Vaishnav expects more companies to produce memory chip in India. Fine. So India is a developing economy, and for that purpose, for any country who is a developing country or developed country, fine, manufacturing is a key. And key components manufacturing become very crucial. If your economy is dependent on certain goods on other country which are critical in the nature, for example, semiconductor chip. So semiconductor chip in any modern day electronic device, camera, laptop, phone, this mic, anything have semiconductor chips, including EVs. So all these are having made up of, they run on what? Semiconductor chip. So if semiconductor chip is not being manufactured in your country, then your entire manufacturing sector is dependent on that country from there where that chip is coming. So if even that country is not against you, example Taiwan. So Taiwan is not against India. But if tomorrow China is going to attack on Taiwan, or some issue will happen in the Taiwan, industries are going to close because of that issue. Suppose some virus breakout happened, and Taiwan have stopped all those manufacturing units in order to save their citizens. Then that stopping of the manufacturing in Taiwan is going to severely impact Indian economy. Is it okay for India to depend on such critical things? Answer is no. So this is why any developing economy, whether it is any country, but case in point India, India have to ensure all the critical aspects. Have you understood why I am emphasizing critical aspects? Because these critical aspects are key to ensure your manufacturing and production lines are not going to be severely impacted. But if tomorrow, suppose that we are importing the bottle only, so this bottling plant, if it is not in India, it is not going to create a big problem. Because the bottling plant we can establish in very short span of time and no advanced technology is required. But for chip, semiconductor chip specifically, it is a crucial technology which can be problematic if we are not having it in India. So this is why India has launched their National Semiconductor Manufacturing Plan. So semiconductor chip manufacturing plan have India initiated. Now India is trying to push many companies in the world to come and manufacture semiconductor chip in India. In that context, Minister have given this statement. So India is pushing many countries in the world come and do manufacturing at where? India. So you have to write one more thing as an assignment. India's semiconductor mission. India's semiconductor mission. What is it? When it was started? And what is major What is it when it was started, and what is main objective of India's semiconductor mission? What is it when it was started, and what is the main objective of India's semiconductor mission? Now see, deaths in Brazil raise the concern about the India's dengue vaccine, dengue. Fine. So this vaccine is developed by India. Fine. So what you need to do, you have to read about it, about the vaccine developed by whom, which organization in India have developed this vaccine, and what is the overall issue. Because dengue is one of the most fatal problem, not only in India but in a different part of the world. So it is a must read news, and it can be tagged in GS paper 3, Science and Technology. Fine. So you should read it. And this news, when you will read, you need not to make a detailed notes. Here only 3 to 5 lines. Major thing. No need to go for filling too many things. Read it, and only key data, only 3 to 5 points are required. But you should read it. Okay. Now let's move to the next news. You just read it. No need to go for like making notes. Now here, hidden history of Thai-Bharat connection. Fine. Shashi Tharoor. Fine. Shashi Tharoor article is must read article. Shashi Tharoor's article is must read article. It is not a option. It is must read because his views are very balanced and thought-provoking. And his views can give you the deep insight on the topic on which he is writing. And he is an extraordinary intelligent person. He completed his PhD at the age of 20. Fine. And he is a former UN official. He was a Deputy Secretary General of United Nations. And he is alone enough to handle entire Western media and narrative. So he is a highly intellectual person. He speak on certain specific topics, critical topics. So he is one of the person who need to be followed until unless he is talking about the party politics. Fine. When he is talking about his party or some other party, ignore. But otherwise, you should follow whenever he is going to speak on the matter of international relations or social issues that need to be followed, must follow. Again, I am emphasizing, for mains examination point of view, you can directly quote his name according to Dr. Shashi Tharoor. Fine, and his view. You can clearly mention he is an MP, but at the same time, he is a former UN official and having very good respect among the all party political lines. In fact, after Operation Sindoor, when India has sent a delegation around the world, around the world to present India's viewpoint, Shashi Tharoor was one of the leading figure. In fact, he was the person who was assigned to draft the resolution which is going to be passed by the Indian Parliament. So Indian Parliament have passed a resolution against Pahalgam attack. So he is one of the sensitive person with respect to foreign policy, international relations, and social issues. This is his area, and you can tag his article, Shashi Tharoor, this topic, Shashi Tharoor, this topic, Shashi Tharoor, this topic. So you can read this, fine. Here he has provided a historical perspective of the India-Thailand relation. So understand, whenever we study the international relations, okay, bilateral or multilateral, especially bilateral. Bilateral means India-Thailand, India-China, India-US, India-Russia. Multilateral means, for example, India and UN, India and European Union, India and ASEAN. So India with multilateral platform. ASEAN stands for Association of Southeast Asian Countries, United Nations, European Union. So when India is going to interact with these things, then it is a multilateral, quadrilateral arrangement, BRICS. So it's a multilateral platform. So, especially keep this thing in the mind. When we talk about international relations, fine. So, international relations have multiple dimensions. Usually, defense, economy, fine, technology. So, in international relations, these are the three dimensions which are most dominating. One, defense. Second, economy. Third, technology. Fourth, strategic. Fifth, people to people cooperation. How people of India is interacting with that particular country. Why it is important? When people to people interaction increases, fine, it will create a positive image of that country there. And for example, India and Afghanistan, though there is almost no talks in the past between Taliban and Indian government. Though recently India have invited Afghanistan Taliban foreign minister to visit India. Fine. But still there is very less connection between India and Taliban government right now. But do you know that a survey was being conducted and people of Afghanistan were asked, which country you love most? And the answer was India. Many bloggers who went to Afghanistan, one blogger like he, nomadic Indian, fine. One blogger who go for bike riding. So he went to the particular place and they have asked, from where you are? So he said from India. So they said that no, you need to pay for the food. I love India. So this is what sometimes even some security forces personnel who are checking your documents. Fine. So they said, oh, India, go brother. Why? Because if you'll see, especially if you go to Delhi University, fine, in Delhi, many of the Afghan people, they are living here, they are getting treated here, they are having a lot of good reputation in here. And in fact, if you have observed, recently one test match happened between India and Afghanistan, yes or no? Do you know that who was a host country? Where this test match happened? Test match happened in India, but India was not a host country. It is Afghanistan as a host country. So India has given a status of what? Host country to Afghanistan. What it means, especially in the cricket. So when test match happen, the host country is going to manage the pitch of the test match, which is going to be very crucial. So what nature of the pitch will be there? Curator of the pitch is going to usually follow international standard. So what is an international standard? But he can do some instruction on the given advice by the host country's management. So this is why when cricket match happen in India, you will find spin friendly pitch. But when match will happen in the England, ball is going to swing. But match is going to happen in Australia, ball is going to bounce. Fine. So, host country. So, India has given the host country status to whom? Afghanistan. Why it is very significant? See, why it have won the heart among the Afghan cricket lovers. See, Afghanistan is a war-torn country. They are not able to even have a proper stadium and other things. So, despite being a test-playing nation, they have never hosted any match in their own country, which they always have a wish. Every country have a wish that match will happen in my country. So India said that, okay, might be I am not able to do that thing in your country, but I will realize this dream of you and your people and their sentiment by allowing you to be a host at where? In India itself. So this is a big thing that is going to melt the heart of the people. India is a very good country. So people to people cooperation, though it is not very important, but it always create a positive sentiment in the people, and then they will be laid a foundation for greater cooperation at political level. So might be India and China, they are hostile to each other. But if the more and people to people cooperation will happen between India and China, and Indian people are going to consider Chinese are friendly, which we do not feel. We are always seeing Chinese as a suspicious. Similarly, Chinese are also seeing Indians as a suspicion. But if tomorrow Indian and Chinese are going to have greater cooperation with each other, Fine. And people have this general trust that Chinese people are good, supportive, helping. And Chinese are also going to think that. Then to do something which may be questioned. If tomorrow India is going to give certain territory to China and China is also going to give certain territory back to whom? India. People are going to fire. Why you are giving this territory of us to China? But if the good relation between India and China has been there, they are also giving now. So some give and take and solve this matter. So this is very important aspect. Fine. Until unless we do have a greater people-to-people cooperation, we cannot solve the critical matters. So this is why people-to-people cooperation is a very important aspect in the international relations. Understood? Fine. Now, fuller expression and then series of gaps. Read this article. This portion need to be read. Read it. What they are giving. No need to make a notes. Read and try to get what matter is being highlighted by the newspaper, because newspaper is going to put this article on those issues which are very important issues from the national economy, polity or national issues. So any national issues. So these portions should be dealt properly. Again, might be you are not able to understand the technical aspect. I'm not asking for it. What I'm asking, get an idea. For example, in this article of editorial is showing that concern with respect to inflation. So, how is inflation is some small issue? No, inflation is an important issue because it is finding a space at where? In the editorial of the newspaper. So, those people who consider editorial everything, this is the editorial. In this portion, what they have written here with the image of the Hindu, this is editorial only. All these are the other article, open age article. Only these two are basically what? Editorial. Series of gaps. Fine. So, child sexual abuse. So, child sexual abuse is a big issue in India. So, they are focusing on important matter. So, read it and just underline it. Underline in the sense, write it. Okay, this is another important issue. Fine. So, you can create a separate entry by mentioning important issues highlighted by the Hindu in the editorial section. So, after 3-4 months, when you want to know that what are the major issues in India, you will find that, and after 3-4 months, you know what is going to happen? You will find that that issue is coming. Fine. So, on an average, 2 editorials in a day. Fine. So, in a month, 60. In a 3 months, 180 to 200. But once it is going to reach 200, you will find that they are going to be what? Repeated. And then you will consolidate what are the major important issues in India. Students are keep asking, sir, how I will come to know that this is an important issue or this is not an important issue. This is a hack. Fine. Public hack ढूंढती है आजकल. So please tell me some hack. So भैया, this is the hack. How to find important issues in the newspaper. You need to be patient for 3 months. You need to be consistent for the 3 months. Make a separate entry of editorial heading. Heading and the key. Heading is what? Heading is fuller expression. But what is the main? Inflation. Inflation. So even if you write inflation, and here you will write child abuse. Enough. So, what is date today? 15th June. 2 point. Child abuse and inflation is a matter in the editorial section of the Hindu newspaper. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, make an entry. एक white paper पे, A4 sheet पे entry बना लो. Next 3 months के लिए. 15th June to 15th of August. And see the magic. Then you will be more focused on those topics which are consistently appearing in where? Editorial. And newspaper reading is going to be quite easier for you. Understood? Fine. So, again, the 7-point IQ opportunity for Indian children. Fine. You can read this article because here the UNICEF and child mental development and mental issues are becoming very common day by day. Fine. Workplace harassment, mental health, consistently in the news. Consistently, every week, at least 2 articles you will find in the different part of the newspaper on mental issues. Fine, mental issues. So you should read, and 3 to 5 points you can write on this article. Fine. Now, here, towards a fair, efficient insolvency regime. Fine. This article is more technical in the nature because here they are asking for insolvency and bankruptcy practices in India, which is a technical topic in the nature. So you can skip this article as of right now because you do not have a proper knowledge of economy. But if you are well aware of that topic, then you can read it. But for beginner, I will not suggest until unless they will have the knowledge of insolvency and bankruptcy in India. Fine. So if you will try to in this book कि माँ कसम कुछ भी हो जाए मैं तो करके दिखाऊंगा, I am going to do it. So you are going to waste your time. Why? Because it's a very technical topic. So this is what I am trying to tell you. When you find topic too technical in the nature, which need to understand in the detailed, elaborative manner, skip it if you are a beginner. Skip it. Wait when the topic is going to be covered in the class. For example, this topic I will cover in my economy class when I am going to take banking in practice in India. Fine. And then we are going to discuss this IBC, Insolvency, Bankruptcy Code of India. I'll discuss. And once you will have a knowledge, then you can go for it. So for a beginner, any too technical topic, and where you will find that too technical topic? Majority of the too technical topic in science and economics. Other topics are more or less you can handle. Handle, no issues. Fine. Now, power struggle, party in flux. Should we go for this article? No. Why? It's a pure party politics in the nature. Ignore. Fine. Now, making sense of biggest IPO in the history. Again, like, see, if you have the knowledge of market, initial public offering, follow-on public offering, then you can go for it. Fine. Otherwise, as of right now, you can ignore. Fine. As of right now, you can ignore because this topic, again, I am going to deal in what? Economy, I am going to add in my curriculum and I'll discuss in the class when I am going to explain you about capital market, types of offering of the shares, IPO, FPO, green shoe options, offer on sales, many type of there I am going to discuss. Fine. So you can ignore all those technical topics. Wait for those topics will be covered in the class. Then text and context must go article. I told this thing earlier. Whenever the text and context will come, you have to go through this article. And you can make notes on it. By the way, can you tell me in last 1 hour how many topics I told you make a full notes? Only 4. Fine. 4. Rest of the 2 is short notes only. So if you will go to that lecture when I told you how to read the newspaper, I told you in the newspaper hardly 4 to 5 articles are going to be there where we have to make full notes. The rest of the notes are just one-liner or 2-3 points. Fine. So text and context must be go for it. And I told you, can India protect its seafarers in the Gulf? I already told you about this topic. Fine. Now, yeah, this one, most interesting, drop shipping. You know that this term was in this year's UPSC prelims question paper. Drop shipping, they have precisely asked. Fine. So drop shipping, here they have very beautifully explained what is drop shipping. If you read this article, you can easily come to know that what drop shipping means. Basically, drop shipping is a concept where the seller is not a manufacturer or authorized seller. Fine. He's a not authorized seller. So what I am doing that? Suppose I got a commission from a company and I am a social media influencer. Fine. And I have created my web page and I am saying that if you want to purchase this product, go to this website and apply this offer ABCD 10. So you will get 10% discount on my website. So you are thinking that I am purchasing from me. You are thinking you are purchasing from me. But once you will fill all the details, fine, your shipping detail, your payment and all these things I will get and I will transfer to that company. Suppose that I am selling a Dell laptop at 20% discount. Fine. So on my website, you have made a payment. I have received the payment. Now I have fixed commission with the Dell, though I am not really having this telling you, okay? So I am going to give this payment to whom? Dell. And once that laptop will be delivered, I will be rewarded with the commission by the company. So this process is called as drop shipping. So my job is like a property dealer. The people who are looking for the house on the rent and the owner. So rent is going to be paid to whom? Owner. But who will deal with me? The property dealer. This is how it works. Drop shipping. Good article. Please read it. Fine. Then ignore. Car is looking good, but ignore. Fine. Celebrating the legacy of iconic Bengali brand on heritage trail. Shall we go for it? Not required. Fine? Not required. Here, but one article is reachable versus hard to serve. How logistic takes demand growth place. Logistic is an important issue or ignoring topic? Very important issue. Logistic cost in India for your exam, for your consideration. Logistic cost in India for per kilometer. Fine, for per kilometer. Logistic cost in China. So logistic cost in India is about to 14% of India's GDP. Whereas logistic cost in China is only 6 to 7% of the GDP. Means if I am sending one good from Hyderabad to Delhi and same distance in China, approximate 1800 kilometers, approximate. 1800 tha. So 1800 kilometer by road. Fine. So by road, if I am going to send any article from Hyderabad to Delhi or Delhi to Hyderabad, suppose it is going to cost 1 lakh rupees in India. It is going to cost only 60,000 rupees at where? China. So do you think India can compete in the international market with the China despite having same quality product? So both water bottles are manufactured in, one is in India, one is in China. But the shipping cost in India is going to be 1 lakh rupees and in China 60,000 rupees. In which country the bottle is going to be costly? India. So now India is selling bottle and China is also selling the bottle. Suppose that in US. Which bottle is going to be cheap and which bottle is going to be costly? China's is going to be cheap and India's bottle is going to be costly. Despite bottle is same, water is same, labeling is same. Everything is same. But still you lost what? Competitive edge. Why? Because your logistic is problematic. So this is why road, highway, airport, seaport, road, are they important or need to ignore? Very important. And you do have one dedicated question every year, minimum one question every year in GS paper 3 on infrastructure. You can see the previous question paper and definitely one question will be on infrastructure and sometimes two questions. So this topic is having a worth of maximum worth of 30 marks, minimum worth of 15 marks, on average worth of 25 marks. So shall we ignore this topic? No, bilkul nahi. Closely going to follow any news related to what? Fine. So एक कार्टून शो आता था, ठीक है? उसका हिंदी वर्जन क्या था? Like dog and cat. Fine. So the moment dog is going to hear about cat sound, dog is going to sleepy or going to be extra alert mode. Dog's extra alert mode is going to be activated. Fine. So if you train your dog in your house, fine, and dog learn. In Hindi, cat is called Billy. Fine. So the moment you are going to use the Billy, dog, wherever it is, the moment it is going to hear the word Billy, dog is going to be in the alert mode. तो हमें भी क्या करना है, वही अलर्ट मोड चाहिए. Fine, we need not to become a dog. Fine, but we want to have the alertness of our mind to that level. The moment I see the topic which is related to the mains examination, extra alert level. Again, I am telling you, PYQ analysis multiple times is required, because that alertness will be trained by like we train the dog. That is a cat, and you have to push her back. Fine, so that should not enter in my house. So we have to train our mind that this is a PYQ related important topic and extra alertness is required on this topic. Fine, so do this topic. Again, see, India's maritime sector growth gets a push. DG shipping issues first ship recycling credit note. Follow or ignore? Follow. Why? What is mentioned here? Shipping, highway, railway, fine, airport, any news related to it. Fine. In general, you should read it. Do not ignore it at any cost. Okay? Important topic. And by the way, industries and infrastructure, highway, transportation, especially, it is targeted in the prelims also. 1 or 2 questions you will get every year related to that topic also. World, fine, majority of the thing is basically focused on what? Majority of the news is basically focused on what is actually happening in the world, especially Iran conflict related news. So no major news today, but tomorrow and day after tomorrow, G7 summit is going to happen. Group of 7 countries summit is going to happen, and many news with G7 is going to come. And Donnie is also coming, Donald Trump. Donald Trump is also coming to G7 summit, and Modi ji and Donald Trump is going to meet again, and it is going to be interesting what they are going to talk on that. Fine. That is for masala, for those people who are interested. We are not idiot. We are not being interested in the masala. We have to focus what is the theme of the G7 summit this year in France. So your job is to get right. What is G7? How it is different from G8? What is G7? How it is different from G8? When it was formed? Main objective. And most crucial, if India is not part of G7, why India is being invited in G7 summits? Why India is being invited in G7 summits? And when first time India was invited? Last. Theme of this year's G7 summit. Fine. Now, write one question which you have to attempt. I will give you the notes on this topic and you have to attempt this question. Fine? Right. France has emerged one of India's most reliable partner in Europe. France has emerged as one of the India's most reliable partner in Europe. Analyze the significance of India-France relations. Analyze the significance of India-France relation in context of India's strategic autonomy. Now, see, I will send you the material. I have again one more class. I will be free by 1:30. By 2:30, you will get this PDF in your WhatsApp group. Fine. Attempt it by maximum 6 to 7 p.m. Read it. I will provide a detailed document. Detailed document I will provide. Read it. Make kind of short notes, very short notes, and then attempt this question. Do not attempt this question directly. First, read that PDF. Make a very short notes in the flowchart form. Fine. Make a short notes on India-France relation. Then attempt that question. Okay. Then attempt that question. And by 7 p.m., 7:30 p.m. maximum, I will send 2 model answers for you. Not one. 2 model answers on the same question, because this question can be highly asked in general studies, and the same question may be asked in the political science and international relations. Maybe you have another plan to have any other optional. Maybe. But I just want to let you know how you can integrate your overall preparation with the PSI or optional with the general studies. So that is why I am going to send you 2 model answers for your comparison. How general studies is closely related with the PSIR and how PSIR is closely related to the general studies. Fine. Because many people have this misunderstanding with the PSIR optional. It is a very big optional. Fine, I should not take it. Usually, I do not go in such a way. But recently, I came to know that students have this doubt in the mind, misperception in the mind. So I just want to break this misperception from your mind. No, it's not a only big optional. It is a most utility optional. 70% of your general studies you can superimpose in the optional. Whatever you are going to read in the optional, you can cross-utilize at both places. Fine. So I'll send you 2 PDF so that you can identify. And I will do also color codification to identify what is for optional, what is for general studies. Just see that. Fine. If you have any other plan to take any other optional, then it's okay. You can ignore. But if you're open to take optional, which is most utility-based optional, that is political science and international relations, fine, then you must go for it. Fine, must go for it. If you're open-minded, but if you are like, for example, some student who is from some background, like some person is from psychology background, he studied the psychology in his graduation, fine, then I will not say that you should leave the psychology and take the political science. But if you are open-minded, you are ready to go for any optional which is going to help you to clear the exam, integrate your preparation, then political science and international relations is the best optional to get. Fine. And I will take one dedicated session how to integrate your optional and why to choose PSIR. Why to choose PSIR. So we will do this. Fine. So we have did our discussion. Fine. I have to provide few things. Number 1, I will provide a detailed article on India-France relation. By the evening, I will provide the model answer and what topic I have given you in assignment. Fine. What topic I have given an assignment. By tonight, you will also get that thing. Okay. Just anyone give me the list of the topic which I have mentioned. Anyone made a list? Just give it to me. Okay. See you tomorrow. Okay. Thank you.